Hey everybody. Well, we're back again. Hopefully everything's okay. I mean, I've got every single thing about streaming in between, but luckily G doesn't. I can retain information about anything except anything to do with technology. So if it'd been up to me, it would have taken me about 10 hours to remember how to do everything, but here we are. So yeah, welcome back. It's been a while. I kind of stopped doing the streams for a bit because I don't know, felt like I didn't know how much people actually wanted me to do them, but yeah, we're back and we'll see how we go. Yeah, hello, hello. Just looking in the chat over here. Been a while, yes, indeed. Had time to just test everything this time. Hopefully, it'll be smooth sailing. Looking forward to the stream. Glad to hear it. Yes, welcome back, everybody, and see how we go. I'm all rugged up with these. It's supposed to be about summer over here, but you wouldn't really think that. Anyway, yeah, so I've got a new setup. I finally did the Moushly meme thing. Well, the first time I did it, just with the typical, I guess the mouse style of the Ashley, but as marble, and then yeah, I sort of got the new open canvas here, and already in between this and this, I just got used to it a bit more, and I think it's looking a bit smoother. Pressure sensitivity is a lot better in this version. I'm very resistant to change, but G finally got me to try out the newer version, and after mumbling and a grumbling, I actually did. So yeah, hopefully the will look a little better with the lines and things. Oops, let's get rid of. Whoop, we there we go. Yeah. All right. So how's everyone been? Oh, it's gone. Here's my suggestion: Clover and Virginia standing underneath mistletoe, blushing and having a oh no look on their faces. Clover is the same height. Sure. Been cold there? Yeah, it's been kind of cold here too. Everything sounded fine, good. I mean, by fine, I mean, I guess it sounds like it's in the bottom of a water tank, but that's okay. That's what we got. That's what we've got. I'm sure if anyone actually heard my voice in real life, they'd be like, what the heck? You sound like completely different on the stream, but that's okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on this stuff. So there, new layer, good to go. So yeah, might as well go with that one. I know there are a lot from Mordak on the Patreon messages, and I'll get to them in a second. But yeah, so what's this? Got all of your Christmas decorations up? Have we? We have not. We're usually pretty slack with that. What's the date? It's still November. We've still got 3 days until we need to be guilt tripped into putting stuff up. We do have a big tree and all that kind of stuff, but we don't. We can't always be bothered putting that up. So we'll see how we go. We'll play it by ear this time. We normally just put a bunch of like little sort of deers around and stuff. We got little models and some tinsel and some baubles and stuff like that. Speaking of Christmas, oh yeah, look at that pressure sensitivity. Go. All right. I need to look up what mistletoe it looks like because, like everyone, my default brain connection is that it looks like holly, which is I know is not accurate. And it's pretty important to get mistletoe looking right. Mistletoe. Um, oh, okay. It kind of, all right. In a black and white picture, it probably wouldn't look too much different. Okay, it's like things, and then there's some stuff. Otherwise, people would be very confused. All right, there we go. And I'll put a holly here just in case, so people know it's Christmas. That's not anything. Take it easy. Take it slowly. A little bit jittery. This will help. Some coffee to calm the nerves. That's what it does, right? So that's that. And then we'll go back to, yeah. Okay. Clover. All right. Under the mistletoe. So let's see. Clover, I can remember because it hasn't been long since I've drawn her. Very the long face. Um, she doesn't usually have like the oh no face. I guess she does sometimes. This, she's got this. Oh man, they're so smooth, so crisp, these lines. What have I been doing this whole time? Yeah, I guess I better get a question on the go as well, or something to be talking about while I'm drawing. So yeah, there's a couple again from Mordak over on Patreon. There's only a couple though, so if anyone has any other questions, I guess technically the one about the decorations was a question, but yeah, as I sort of said, we don't really celebrate Christmas too much anymore. We've only really got like one child in our like immediate sphere of influence, which isn't really ours. So like the Christmas magic isn't like you know, necessary so much. So anything at this point, like, not that we buy too much stuff, because now that we're both starving artists, we haven't got a lot of money to spend on frivolous things. So we don't tend to do like too much Christmas stuff. Um, but we'll probably, yeah, I might put the tree up if I can be bothered. But yeah, if we want stuff, we'll just buy it. So we don't really do the old presents too much. Kind of a bit grinchy in this house. Today on April tape, blushing. Yeah, I think that's yeah. Even when Clover is old no, she still looks like a little bit pissed off. So that's about as close as you're gonna get, I think. And then I guess she's probably be looking up a little bit more than that. And I've learned some One Piece shorthand for like intense eyes. Just do your pupil and then do this around the outside. It works, I guess. Oh yeah, that's kind of what we've been doing for the last like 1,000 years is just catching up with One Piece. By which I mean devoting like every waking hour to watching it because there's more hours of One Piece than there is hours of recorded history. I think we're up to about 301 now. We're watching it last night, but it is one of those things where if I watch too much of it, I just start to flatline my brain. So it's not like something I can binge for too long without going crazy. But it's good. Not that this was a question anyone asked, but I might as well talk about it. Yeah, so if you've seen One Piece, you kind of know, I suppose. But it's incredibly of its time in terms of like being drawn out and that sort of Dragon Ball Z anime thing where they'll have an arc which should probably, by any stretch of the imagination, take 10 episodes, but like incomprehensibly they make it take about 100. So I don't, yeah, like if I was watching this on TV in like the 90s, I guess 99, early 2000s, whenever it came out, I would be just going insane having to wait. Watching an episode would be like one thing was actually progressed, like 1 minute of time was progressed, and the rest was just filler and remembering what happened literally 1 minute ago from the point of view of like every other character in the place, of which there's about 20. So yeah, besides that, it's really good. And yeah, I guess it's kind of like I didn't watch it at the time, when it came out because the style was kind of weird and it I don't know, didn't really grab me in its art style as it probably did a lot of people. But it sort of grows on you and it's sort of ahead of its time, in a lot of ways because, this kind of zany, weird style kind of just became the norm a little bit later when Adventure Time, Regular Show, all that kind of stuff started to show up. One Piece suddenly wasn't so weird anymore. So it's like, oh yeah, that was actually pretty groundbreaking. So yeah, style's weird, characters are kind of weird, but yeah, it's pretty amazing just the fact of like being with a character for so long and just following their journey in a chronological. I mean, because shows like South Park, Simpsons, whatever, they've had a billion episodes too, but because they're episodic, you don't really get any feel of character growth or anything. So even if you don't so much like a character of One Piece, it's just like you will probably eventually, just because you've spent so much time with them. So yeah, really liking that. So yeah, really not doing much besides that. And we did well, there we go. We watched the Christmas special of One Piece, which just so happened to be playing the other day, even though it was made probably 20 years ago. And yeah, that was okay. That's about as Christmas spirit related as we've gotten so far. Um, see, what are these hands doing? Maybe like, whoop. Very close together for any kind of hand stuff. I guess they just got uh, like arms crossed. That's like the default clover stance. So yeah, it's good. And yeah, One Piece pretty cool. And I've been when it is animated, it's animated pretty well. So it's fine. When it's not, I guess it's one of those shows where we've noticed like because like they're off model anyway, like 90% of the time because of the designs are so crazy. You can have like B artists and just be like having very subpar art, but it's like yeah, it's One Piece. It still looks basically the same. Although some of the characters like oh, you missed 90% of Zoro's forehead, so he looks like an actual human. That's unacceptable. But yeah, all right. I think this one's nearly done. I think that body should be quite there. But yeah, the Mashley thing was actually pretty fun to do. The Resident Evil one. I didn't do it on stream because I was kind of afraid to do it because the style was so cute of like the actual thing. And I was like, oh yeah, well that's okay. And then so I just yeah did that real quick, and then I'll see what Ashley looks like in if she was in my style. But that's that. So have the armor on, I suppose. Whoops. Yeah, actually, let's get rid of this. Let's get this out of here. It's confusing. Yeah, I suppose if it's Christmas, we better put some more stuff up here. Tinsels. Someone put this up very off center in the room. Not me, I'm just drawing the scene. I didn't do it. All right. Cool. There's one. All right, let's head back over here, back into the chat. Whoop. Yeah, Modak had a whole. I said Modoc for a second. I've been kind of in a Marvel kick since I've been painting a lot of Marvel Crisis Protocol miniatures. Not Modoc, Mordak says, I have the whole week off, so nice way to end my little vacation. Oh, fantastic. Here in the States, we put up our decorations before the start of December. Well, technically, we still can do that. Although Australia is like one day earlier, so we have one less day, whatever, time travel, before the start of December, although some people put up their decorations at the beginning of November. Yeah, I mean, if you got them all and it takes a while to put them up, might as well have them up for longer. Better than having them up for longer afterwards and the shame slowly increasing. I was seeing some decorations back in October. Yeah, I guess people get into it. Just a bundle of joy. Um, I remember an old pic you did, Kitfox, where you were buried in Christmas decorations, telling Sugar you thought y'all had enough decorations, and you said y'all didn't have enough. Oh, how things change. Now G's kind of the Scrooge or the Grinch now. She's the one who can't be bothered putting up decorations, and I'm the one who's like, but it's Christmas. So yeah, we'll put some up, but that's definitely not the case anymore. Um, isn't really ours, says G. To be clear, it's not ours. Kitbox's brother's child. Oh, sorry. Yes, my niece. It's probably weird the way I said that about the child, but yeah. G was obsessed with decorating to begin with. Have a packet of stars that just used to throw everywhere. Yeah, and that was pretty fun to fix up. Those two aren't happy with where things are going. Yeah, not really. I mean, they're not generally that happy anyway. We'll see where things go. All right, so I'll just go back into get a couple of questions if you all wanted to think about some other ones. Oop, where's the internet? There it is. All right. Was Lena older than Shaw back when they were both alive? Yeah, okay, we get into that. And do lemurs make movies? All right, two ones there. So then some picture things. Let's have a look. The Barbie and Ken mugshot meme with Maple being the annoyed series one, Arthur being all too cheerful scamp. Cool. I'm always worried about doing memes because yeah, I'm not really that into the meme culture. I really get it secondhand from G, who kind of is more engaged with that sort of thing. But let's have a look what this is. Did you all watch the Barbenheimer um, double feature? We didn't end up watching either of them, but I probably will at some point. I heard they're both pretty okay. All right, okay. This sure. This looks good. Turn this off. Let's get another one. Cool. Straight lines. Fantastic. I'll do that afterwards. I'll just do the split down the middle. Ah, see, one reason I'll never probably do line art digitally for like the comic is like in real life, robot. I could draw a straight line all day long, but in this, not so much. That's about as straight as that's gonna get. So let's see now. Um, so Maple, of course, being Mordek's kind of in our shadow adjacent kind of storyline character, along with Arthur. She's kind of the mother of the two kids that he's and the family that he's kind of gotten himself involved with. So let's see how we go here. Still got to kind of get used to this, but yeah, already these lines are like, they're fine. All right, so let's see. Okay, so yeah, was Lena? I don't know how they related age-wise, Lena and Shaw, or back in the day, he was called Nero, which is a incredibly great and deep and good reference to, I guess, the Roman Emperor. He burned Rome. Pretty smart, as am I. It's done. So I think they were probably about the same age. Like Lena wasn't incredibly kind of like older, experienced at the time. Like she wasn't like um a top tier kind of agent in the lab rat sort of organization. She was just going out doing missions, going and exploring stuff, escort missions and things. But most of them probably would have been more involved with espionage in terms of infiltrating the government and things like that. So they probably, yeah, she wasn't probably that old or experienced at the time. Probably similar to him. So I guess it's hard to say in terms of kind of like the rat ages, but they probably would have been sort of similar. Let's see, get that hair. I think goes something like this. So yeah, both kind of, I guess, sort of early-ish in their relative careers. Him being a sort of like bomb, demolitions expert, and her being a espionage slash bodyguard slash super soldier. Go boop. And do lemurs make movies? They most definitely do. And this probably might be like a little bit of a reference of that because I mean, as if you're on the Patreon, you would know. I guess we've kind of gotten back to Madagascar by now in the comic. Probably haven't really caught up with that on DA or webtoon yet, but yeah, we're in Madagascar, so you're probably going to see some references to like some movies that they're doing. So, but they're very heavily based on like probably human culture. I guess like not cyberpunk, but like the '80s vision of the future, where it's sort of like the sort of thing that maybe Back to the Future in the '80s thought that we would have in about 20 years from then. So it's yeah, it's like hover cars, whatever, but definitely still got movies, and like the movies would probably be very like act I guess like probably action movies, just a lot of different things they'd be working on. Yeah, it's like almost like a parody or like a condensed version of '80s, late '70s, early '80s human stuff. So any sort of movies that you would be seeing around about those times, they probably have some like fairly primitive like space stuff. You like early Star Wars, Last Starfighter, that kind of thing. Oh, his arms are a bit close together. Might have to rethink that stuff. I'll take a plaque out approach. Put that on there first. Well, I guess it makes sense. It's going to be like there. So yeah, probably like westerns and just action films would be like the things that would most likely make. And holding one of these things is like very weird. It's like holding a phone. I don't know if you've ever drawn someone like holding a mobile phone. Oh, sorry, a cell phone. It would be very like it's very hard to make it actually look like a natural way of holding it. So I'm just gonna go by what the picture's doing, and it's not my fault. Yeah, that looks. There we go. But yeah, lots of movies. I'm gonna put some posters up for them just around the city. Although because the city is still like being built at this point, like this, but they're probably not really having a lot of time right now to develop like media and things like that. They're mostly just essential services and getting everything sort of built and sorted out. But yeah, it's been fun doing them again. Not that I've had a big chance to, excuse me, do anything like a lot of their dialogue or anything like that. Still cool to sort of have a minute. And yeah, I couldn't help myself doing a little reference to Ozzy and Millie, the comic, and it was cool that some people remember seeing that from back in the day. Yeah, I do love that. Even though the author Dana Simpson has said it's kind of like the whole comic is sort of like a 10-year thesis of just like making a comic. It's not really. And they kind of went on to do another one, Phoebe and the Unicorn, I think it was called, but like it's sort of like a rehash or a refining. Although I think it lost a lot of the charm of that like sort of gritty early 2000s internet culture. So I don't know. I haven't really looked into that new comic very much. It's not really my scene. I much prefer the old stuff, the hipster that I am. There we go. And yeah, and so I kind of get it when people like they sometimes say to me, it's like, oh, like your old comics, like how they're terrible. They look like garbage, and but I don't know, they've got like a different feel to them, and it's a I don't know, not more sincere, but like just a different vibe. I was in a different spot in life, and things, the values were different, and the stuff I would think about was different, and like a lot less sanitized, I guess. Just a factor of being younger and being in a time where things were a little less good, a little less accepting. But yeah, there we go. And then, all right, this one's gonna be a bit harder. Let's see. So let's take a. This is Ryan Gosling. What are you doing? That is a face. I don't know if I can replicate this, but I'll try my darndest. God, it's like this. Yeah, it's something like this, and yeah, I think that head's a bit big, but now this is the new version of Open Canvas. I'm still not quite um, to grips with the 21st century yet, so I am not using Photoshop or anything like that, or whatever the kids are using, but I am, using the newest version of this at least, which means that a lot of the features, a lot of the shortcuts and stuff, I haven't really memorized yet. So I'll have to spend a second to try to find out where the resize thing is. So over here, let's see now. Image. Oh, let's select that first. Missed the corner of the ear, but that's okay. Can I go lay transform? Okay, that's what it was, but I accidentally clicked Wrong one. Layer, transform, scale. Okay, so far so good. Yeah. Okay, there we go. All right. Pretty famous, actually. And then I suppose he probably want to be, yeah, a little bit taller. Oh, he's not huge. He's tall for a rat, but the squirrels are quite a bit taller. Okay. So now the plaque. Jump over and chat real quick to see if there's anything. Oh, I asked that question because I was wanting to do a joke where lemurs have to have a movie named The Exterminator to parody Terminator and have anyone freak out at Arthur be so. Oh yeah, well, yeah, I mean for sure they would have a Terminator type movie for sure. So I'm gonna just go ahead and say that's 100% in canon. Uh oh, you know the meme, G? Yeah, I'm not surprised. Whatever they were arrested for, I think we can all agree it was Arthur's fault. Yeah, probably. All right. So let's go. I think that was all. That was all the questions there. Go back to that mugshot. All right. So now the plaque is actually like up here. Kind of goes back there. Whatever you call it. I haven't been in prison enough to remember what those things are called. Here we go. And okay, he's holding it, slightly more. Yeah, it's because you can't see the thumbs. It's like, how are they holding that? And there we go. And the hand's like so. Man, I wish it was acceptable to wear this kind of thing, like in this day and age. I was definitely born in the wrong decade here, but I'll wear a headband. I'll wear a wrist sweatband. Sure. I guess he's wearing this pose. Yeah, so yeah, something like this, kind of nebulous as to what the rest of this shirt, this big Hawaiian shirt, is doing. And his other arm's kind of like hidden. His neck's also hidden. Anyway, that's probably good. Up here, oops, wrong one. Yeah. Yeah, oh, it sort of cuts off about there, so I'll just cheat and do the same thing. I'll just crop it down when I combine them together. Oops. And this. All right. And then I guess put those lines in the back, just enough to. I guess prisons didn't have pressure sensitivity when they drew the lines in the background of their prisoners, which is, I'm sure, the order of the operations there. Stand here and I'll draw the lines around the outside of you. Yeah. And how tall? Oh, Margot Robbie's pretty tall. Okay. Oh, what the heck? It goes 4 foot, then 6. That's weird. Okay, but something about probably 2 foot would be about here, I reckon. Something. But yeah, I haven't been. What y'all been up to? Haven't been doing a great deal. I sort of had a bit of a break from kind of having to do the miniature painting, like for Warhammer and stuff like that, which is the main thing that I'm doing these days. Since yeah, taking a bit of a hit on the on the old Patreon, but that's fine. That's all right. Just lucky to be supported as much as I am. But yeah, had a little bit of a break in between miniatures arriving and stuff like that. So I was able to do a couple more pages. I do have another page of um, of In Our Shadow to go up. I just haven't quite put it up yet because a big order, a big miniature order came in from Texas, and they sent it all the way down here for me to paint them, and then send them all the way back, which is good for me since the Australian dollar is absolute garbage, and the translation's pretty good. Although it's kind of going gangbusters at the moment, by which I mean it's gone up to 66 US cents, which is massive. Which I don't know is really bad for anyone like me and like G, who's like mainly I get just getting paid for stuff in the greenback, which means it translates down to a bit less. But our cost of living is still unprecedented. So it's yeah, our money's going up. That's real bad news. But yeah, anyway, I've had a bit of a break from that, so I was able to paint some of my own stuff. So as I mentioned, I had a bunch of the Marvel Crisis Protocol models hanging around for a long time. So I finally don't need to look at those in shame anymore, and I've painted those. I might put some pictures up of them at some point. Okay, I put some names on these things, and then we'll move on to the next one. LAPD, what would it be? Where are they? What? I guess they're in the somewhere in the squirrel world. Um, I don't know. I can't think of my head right now what the place is called, but I never mentioned it. And if I write it here now, that's going to be canon in real life. So I can't think about that right now. And then Venice. Uh, whatever that's about. And one thing problem with the pressure sensitivity is like if I just do one dot, it doesn't really do anything, which isn't a huge issue, I guess, but I'll get used to it. Second. Ah, all right, let's get another draw and suggesto. Whoop, what? Mugshots indeed. Oh, Arthur is precisely 100 centimeters. What's that, like 3 foot something? Um, cool. All right, so let's go back and get another drawing suggestion from Patreon. Whoop, whoop. Let's see, what's striking my fancy? The opossum armor, which is a picture of an opossum and then basically putting some stuff onto it to turn it into an armadillo. That sounds fun. All right, let's see if I can translate that into anything. So here we go. Turn this off, new layer, and let's go. There we go. All right, so right, so let's just draw a possum. Oh, an opossum as we. Oh, I guess that's technically what they're called. This picture. They always look very different. I was looking up some pictures to try to like get some references for tourmaline, and yeah, they are like, do they have black ears? Do they not? They're like, how gray are they? How not? But yeah, I don't know. It's fine, I guess. And then I guess we'll just like do the outline first, and then put the armor on afterwards. Because basically they're kind of like the color sort of goes around like Mickey Mouse style around the outside. As I think Slim Shady said. And then okay, so we'll just do like the basic body shape. And then this is gonna be this is gonna be weird. The whenever I see an armadillo, I've just got such a core memory of like there was a Disney, I think it might have been the Three Caballeros or one of those kind of like wartime. We've got a I was like, I don't know, just after the war, for some reason, we've got to increase our standing in Latin America. So they made the Three Caballeros and um those Amigos or something, and yeah, the ones with Donald Duck and the parrot and the rooster, and they were just like kind of musicals that are like half real life, half not, Mary Poppins style, and then like a bunch of shorts. There was a bit of that I think with an armadillo in it, and so whenever I see this picture, I'm like, that's all I can think of. So all right, so that's that. So I guess we'll start putting this on here. Well, I suppose I should do like the basic one, and then have like a three-stage shot like it has in this original image. So I guess we've got this. Yep. Um, yes. Okay, then we'll just copy this. So let's edit, copy, edit, paste. Probably going to make a new layer, but that's fine. And then get this over here. Okay, so that's your basic one. And then I suppose, yeah, there'll be just a picture of the armor itself. And then, all right, so, whoop. So while we're over here, I'll just draw the actual, like, armadillo armor. How so? I don't know why I'm drawing, like, the anthro version of the the possum and then the, I guess, normal version of this, but in the picture it's something like, I guess those are knee pads, and then all the little bits and bobs. Oh, it's a pretty cool animal. When we go exploring around the globe at some point, if we ever have enough monies to do that, yeah, I'd love to see a lot of these critters. It's kind of weird. We've got, I guess, globally speaking, fairly unique animals in Tasmania, but that's still kind of all I know. So everything else is like very unique. Like, oh my god, a chipmunk. What the heck? But yeah, meanwhile, we just surrounded with wallabies and kangaroos and all that stuff everywhere. And of course, in Tasmania, it's not a wilderness, but it's pretty like um, there's a lot of wildlife around here everywhere, which is kind of sad because whenever you're driving, you see like there's this roadkill everywhere because it's just well, and in some way though, it's like a good sign. It just means we've got a lot of stuff, a lot of animals everywhere. I went to the mainland, which is what we call like what Tasmanians call the North Island, and yeah, like a lot less roadkill up there. So it's like, oh, well, the streets are so clean. It's like, oh, that probably means that there's nothing around here. So all this stuff on here. But yeah, armadillo is really cool. I guess the closest thing we have to that is like an echidna, and they're around. They're always crossing the road like incredibly slowly, but for some reason they're hugely visible. So like you can see them crossing a mile away. So even though they're like the slowest thing on the planet, you still cannot hit them. It's impossible. All right, so then we'll go over here and start doing this. So we've got the kind of headpiece. Actually, this is kind of good. Not practice, but I guess getting ideas. Because like, I mean, I'm at a good place with the idea of where Shadow Part Two is going. Like pretty soon, it's gonna like kick into the next, I guess, arc, I suppose, of like where things are going and like where the characters are at in terms of like their growth of like what they're dealing with and all that kind of stuff. So that's gonna kick off pretty soon, and it's gonna like at the moment, it's a bit like I made not a mistake, but like I probably could have done it a little better in terms of a lot of the characters, a lot of the places involved at the moment aren't the main characters. So it's I guess they're ones from the previous comic and stuff, and it's the place that got destroyed was a place that we haven't seen in 400 pages or something like that. So the connection isn't really there, and the impact is lost a little bit when you destroy a place that isn't really key to the main characters at that moment. But now we're back in with the other characters. I guess the point of all that is to show much like the first comic did, is like show what the threat is, what could happen, and then give a reason for why you need to be stopping this thing. So yeah, very soon it's going to start being much more involved with, Seed. He's kind of just been around up until this point, but he's going to be getting much more of a main role in terms of his involvement and his trying to get out of his sort of his mental state that he's in, which has started to sort of happen, but not really. And yeah, oh sorry, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So yeah, that's good. I'm really happy with that's going, but I've got an idea for another comic, which will be probably a lot shorter. It's more like just like the exploration of an idea. So yeah, pretty short. And I just thought, oh, what if? And then it's going to be like completely different. Like, no, it's going to be still anthro, but the style is going to be like pretty different. And I'm just gonna try to push the boundaries a bit of like breaking out of the sort of style that I always do to make it a little different. And it's short, so it's not gonna if I find I don't like the style, it's too difficult to do, then no harm, no foul, or whatever they say. But anyway, that's going to be like a mix of different, like, technological standards, like a little bit like in Our Shadow is. What am I doing? Does Armadillos have like stomach armor? I don't. It's kind of a weird angle to have tried to replicate this armor with because yeah, I guess they don't really have a lot of armor on the bottom, but that's I should have drawn this picture from the back. That would have made more sense. Like that. And then, yeah, they've got the middle bit, which I don't know if goes all the way around, but who knows? Actually, the way this armor's going, especially around this bit, kind of reminds me of Rhinox from Beast Wars. He had kind of those like hip bits, at least. I mean, I haven't seen Beast Wars in probably 25 years or whatever, but I'm pretty sure he had something like this, and that's sort of reminding me of that. But anyway, yeah, the new comic, it's going to be like the three sort of levels of technology are going to be sort of medieval, like contemporary. So I guess a little bit lemurish, but like more like modern, sort of military kind of stuff, and then like super unknowable technology. So yeah, this is like I guess giving some ideas of what and it's sort of like a very allegorical, like the armor is all kind of um, representation of what like the real life animals have, but like in a more like human way. It's kind of hard to explain, but you'll see when I do it. So yeah, I'm just gonna do that. They have like back of head armor. Probably yeah. This is like I guess kind of ridiculous because yeah, armadillos appear to not have much in the way of like limb length. Oh, yeah, all right. These guys have got like darkish fur on the arms and legs. That's right. I should know that. And I guess this kind of just goes all the way up. Well, it does now. And little knee pads, but I'm not going to be showing that. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this. I suppose maybe I'll make this the back armor like a bit bigger, maybe hunchish. I was gonna say Ninja Turtles. What's the chestnut Pokemon? Get some dark shading in here. Yeah, that'll do. I think. I think I kind of could have done that a little different, but that's all good. All right, so let's get another one. Back in chat real quick because I know about it. Keeping up with that. Haven't seen that cartoon in ages. Yeah, I feel like it's one of those ones I'm not sure if I want to go back because I don't know. In my mind, it was great. It probably still is great, but I want to like overwrite some of my oldest memories. Funny thought: Clover dressed up as Psylocke from X-Men, and very Clover heavy. This one. Wondering how she got breasts. Plus, she does not like the outfit, and then she comes to kill me regular suggestion. All right, she probably would. Um, quite a few armadillos in Florida. Yeah, I feel like what I know about Florida, you've probably got a lot of cool animals there that I'd want to see. Maybe some alligators. We have crocodiles. They're a bit different. Most animals around me are rabbits, black squirrels, skunks, possums, sometimes deer or rats. So like all those are cool. I mean, we have rats sometimes, and we have well, our rats are special. We have like um, what are they? Bandicoots. Um, despite what, much like okay, every Tasmanian animal that's been depicted in anything is like nothing like what they actually look like. So Tas Devil, nothing like it. Crash Bandicoot, nothing like it. A bandicoot is just a fancy rat. So it's like, oh, it's a rat. No, actually, that's an endangered, super special rat. We can't mess with those. But deer are rad. I'd love to see them. I've seen them in zoos, but and yeah, I mean, all these other ones, pretty cool. I guess they're kind of like normal enough most of the time that you wouldn't have them in a zoo, which means there's no way for me to actually see them. So yeah, when we get over to Canada, the States, we'll have a look. Bobcats. We just have cats. We just have big cats, unfortunately. And our cats are quolls, well, they're getting pretty endangered. Um, okay. I'll do that Psylocke one, just because I'm in a Marvel mood. All right. Not that I have a Psylocke model, but uh, I was gonna do like the over the shoulder shot of like looking and like going like, but that kind of defeats the purpose because you know. So let's not do one. All right. At least Clover got to have a bit of an appearance in the new comic for a little bit. Although since that happened kind of about a year before, which is kind of the equivalent of about 9 years in like rat time, she may not be around still in like in the complete present day. Um, no, crazier. One Piece spec. There we go. Um, all right, now I'm not going to go too crazy with this, but see. What does Psylocke do? I'll have to look this up. I know it's like a onesie type thing. All I know is she's got this like sword thingy, energy sword thing. Uh, oh yeah, so just your typical Marvel get up. Let's see. Um, all right then. Um, no, no, I'm not. I think the head's a little small. There we go. Yeah, let's do the other way around so I've got more space. Yeah, that's better. All right. Oops. Whoop. And okay, so we've got like goes right up the neck. Yeah, and yeah, she's the model's I think coming out or has just come out for Crisis Protocol. So yeah, looking forward to picking her up for that one, along with Nightcrawler, Bishop. Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of ones kind of coming out pretty soon. that have been missing from the X-Men lineup, and Professor X and Shadow King. So yeah, yeah, been a bit of a Marvel mood at the moment. Although we did just cancel Disney Plus, so it's probably a bad time to be getting into Marvel stuff. Oh, we did. We watched season 2 of Loki, which was fine. Just because we'd before that we'd watched Ahsoka, which I thought was fairly boring. I don't know if anyone's been keeping up with the Disney Star Wars or Marvel stuff, but yeah, I mean, I had watched Rebels a while ago, and Ahsoka's kind of one of those shows where it feels like yeah, it's like the next season of Rebels, the CG animated show. So what they had to do for everyone who hadn't seen that was basically just like recap a bunch of stuff from Rebels, which meant that if you'd seen Rebels, you would already know this, so it's kind of pointless. And anyone who hadn't seen Rebels, they were just telling you a bunch of this stuff, so it's meaningless to you because you have no actual attachment to what they're talking about. So it's just a bunch of talking, a bunch of Rosario Dawson looking bored to be anywhere, and yeah, it wasn't great. We're kind of like, okay, that's fine. Zombie stormtroopers. Oh, it turns out they're just even worse than normal stormtroopers. So like, what's the big threat here? And Thrawn once again being like, yes, I was defeated, but that was actually part of my plan, actually. And don't even worry about that because I'm just gonna calmly stand here. And this was all yeah, it'd be cool to actually see one of his like apparently brilliant plans actually come to fruition and not just be like part of an even bigger plan. But anyway, it's not sort of beside the point. But uh yeah, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, the Loki was fine. Time travel, I'm not super keen on it. That's sort of why I never do it in my comics. I do in like the joke one, the uh, crossovers. But yeah, I only do it as like as a joke. But yeah, time travel was weird, and they did like the worst thing possible where they changed the way that time travel works kind of halfway through, or not even halfway through. Halfway through wouldn't have been as bad. It was like in the last episode, it's like, oh, time travel works different now, and also it's magic now. It's like, what? Okay, and they sort of didn't really explain a lot, and even if they had, maybe they didn't explain it because they realized it like the more you explain it, the less good it is because I don't know. It was okay. It was sort of interesting. Had some kind of good character stuff and some interesting ideas in there. But yeah, definitely not a match on, not up to the scratch of like other Marvel TV shows that I've seen. One Division was good, and first season of Loki was it was pretty alright, and sort of whatever. Oh man, still getting used to these things. Right. Uh, yes. And what have we got? Okay, it just goes kind of like this. I probably won't do like the whole body, but it's probably enough. Oh, well, if you don't do the whole body, you're not really getting most of what makes the outfit unique, I guess. That kind of like sash thingy. Which I'm noticing now quite a few people have this. Captain Marvel has it, at least in the comics. I don't know. I can't remember about the live action. Brie Larson one. There we go. Yeah, I think that's not too lecherous. And we'll go. Oh, she got gloves, fingerless, and then they kind of go up to there, and then there's some bands because to hold her iPod for going jogging or whatever, and this kind of goes like this. Yeah, I think that's roughly it. Okay, her energy sword is just like it's like just a thing. For some reason, I don't know why I drew it like the Halo energy, Halo sword, but I don't know, my brain's getting cross-wired in all sorts of ways. Anyway, that's that, I guess. And then what's the additional part of the prompt? Um, whoa. Um, yeah, okay. We'll just put yeah, Wolf over here. Let's just put the size of the brush up a little bit. Like, something like, how does the markings this? Yeah. Definitely about to be murdered. Cool. Okay. Next, I feel like I'm making record time here. I think the brush is just way better, so I don't have to spend as much time with the lines. Who'd have thought that the latest version of a thing would ever be substantially better? So let's go have a look at the chat. um, quite a coyotes. Yeah, that's cool. We have dingoes. It's basically the same. Uh, yeah, the idea of like deer being everywhere is nuts. I also hate to hear them just like being referred to as like a nuisance and just jumping into houses and causing a ruckus. We have rabbits too. They kind of just outcompete all of our ancient animals that haven't really been min-maxed into like their best version. So things like rabbits, cats will just like obliterate them. You're telling me Taz and Crash don't spin around like a tornado. I didn't say that. I said they just don't look like that. Of course they do that. Well, why wouldn't they? Oh yeah, get some Canadian geese around here too. How are they different from regular geese? Same amount of murderous? Because our geese are pretty like just like a roided out duck that will kill you. Snapped a pic of one after picking up my lunch. Speaking of psionics, do rat labs have access to other powers like pyrokinesis or telekinesis? And yes, we Americans. I mean, I mean that's a global thing. I guess. Um, it's fine. It's all good. It's all good. I'm just weird. Pyrokinesis or telekinesis. Well, a normal. Well, more on that. I probably don't want to spoil too much, but like one of the reasons I'll talk about it when we get to a picture. Oh yeah, spoilers. Uh, spoilers make everything better. If you're talking about a car, then yes, but otherwise, my car's a spoiler. I haven't kept up to date with any TV show. I haven't even been to a movie theater in years. Yeah, neither have we. We went past a theater the other day, and I was like, what is even on right now? I guess part of the writer's strike and the whatever strike and the all sort of stuff. I don't know what movies are anymore. Like Blue Beetle came out and all these things came out. I'm like, I don't care. Um, you don't bother them, then they don't bother you, but here they can chaos. Yeah, I guess that's a lot of critters. But I'll touch briefly on the psionic, the pyrokinesis. Probably not pyrokinesis, but um, I mean Marvel has already shown that she's got more stuff under the hood than like a normal than has normally been shown. Um, so yeah, let's get another pick prompt. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oops, did I? Yeah, I accidentally clicked away from Patreon to get some important images. So let's get back. Loretta. Oh yeah, the water. My Kitfox 2007 mug that my mum got me. Just let's go. Tourmaline trying to maintain composure while fangirling from meeting Shawl. I'm gonna draw that, but yeah, put a pin in that because that may not be something that's just here in a non-canon situation. Okay, this will be a preview. Let's see. So, whoop. And she's got a really long face. I've sort of like started to make it a bit less so in like recent times, because it's been I went back to like some earlier pages, and yeah, boy howdy, did she got a long face and looks like it's been like just squished down. So it's sort of like changed a bit, and this is actually a big flashback. So she's a bit younger, so that's why her eyes are a little bit not as quite as elongated, but she's definitely still got like the this. Oh, it is a bit too far forwards. Next, that's better. I don't know. Possum ears, I think they're kind of pointy. I think that they're like halfway, like half pointy, half not. Let's look at an armadillo's ears because apparently they're the same thing. Um, and yeah, this was in color. It's just like just a different character. Uh, uh, yeah, without color, I kind of you can't really even tell what it is. So like just that line alone like makes all the difference of what character it is. At least I'm a little better at doing different types of animals than I have been previously. If you go back kind of 15 years or whatever, like everything was just a dog with a very small chin and a very small nose. It's like, oh, is that supposed to be a kangaroo? Yes, no, it's just a dog as well, with slightly taller ears. That's about it. Oh, I can even do kind of like sketchy stuff now. I mean, living in the absolute dark ages. That's usually by design for me, but in this particular case, okay, I'm gonna have to admit this pen is pretty good now. Okay, so this is um, uh, pre her getting her like current get up. So um, actually pretty different back in the day. But yeah, yeah. So back to the question, the lab rats' abilities. Yeah. So while they're in Madagascar, the main reason they're there is because it was Pippa's idea to go there and have a look at the old lemur technology, or the computers that were built to facilitate the like the reinvigoration of the lemur race once they were brought back into the real world after being kept in stasis, and then once again after Madagascar was destroyed and had to rebuild itself again. So yeah, they're there to like look for some old primate stuff, and part of that is um, because monkeys were a lot closer to humans when they got flared, they actually got quite a lot more stuff. So they know a lot more about um, the old human stuff and what was going on with their experiments and all that kind of stuff. So the databases have got quite a bit on there for anyone who can actually. Whoops, what happened? Oh yeah, for anyone who can actually read them. But I guess if spoilers are whatever. Oh, the buttons are on. There we go. Okay, since spoilers are apparently. There we go. Okay. Um, they can do they can do a few other things. The human experiments on the lab rats. I guess our arms probably wouldn't be doing that. They weren't just about mind reading; they were about some other things. But because of the way that things have changed over time, lab rats only really are still around because I think I might have mentioned this before, because they had the advantage to sort of maintain their relatively small community and have that sort of progress into the future. But that also meant that they couldn't really evolve too much, and in fact, they would like lose any of the stuff that they weren't really like sort of using. So, or even things that they weren't even that they didn't even know that they could do. So, mind reading is something that they would have had, like even in their early days of evolution from being basically just normal rats to sort of being what they are now. But a lot of the stuff they would have like lost along the way, or because they actually haven't evolved much because they didn't need to, because they were already so powerful compared to everything else. There's probably a few things like dormant in there, and it's just a matter of kind of getting them unlocked because they wouldn't normally like know how to do it. And as a sort of a primitive animal, that it's stuff they wouldn't think to do. Mind reading they would because that was like basically always on, and they would be able to use that to their advantage, and just the more they were able to use that, the more they would be able to manipulate their surroundings and survive. So the mind reading's a big one. A few other things. I mean, already Marvel's shown that there's more. Just being connected to the neural flare has like unlocked a few things. Not so much unlocked as just like shown. She's learned from the flare the stuff to like make her brain make it happen. So she can, project her thoughts into other people's minds. She can actually, mind crush them, like so to speak, or like a regular lab rat can't do that. And or at least they don't know that they can. It also might lead to something about Sage, although his arc basically is that he probably won't actually get his powers back, like because the point is you don't need to be as in control as you think you do, and actually if you're not, if you sort of are a bit limited, then that it like opens up other avenues to things, and you sort of become like a stronger person because of that. So he's probably just going to be a lab rat that like fairly quickly, but then like um, he sort of fairly quickly adapted, but now he's kind of just like learning more about being a normal person and like being able to like pick up on cues and like do that sort of stuff. So he probably won't get his stuff back, but yeah, there's certainly other stuff that lab rats can do. Maybe telekinesis, maybe yeah, that's probably the most likely other one that's possible. Uh, yes. So here, and then I guess he'd be pretty. At the moment in the comic, they're like pretty like similar. Like Taulian's about as tall as Shawl is, but back here is a little bit different. So he's like, I guess he'd be like, I'll see if I can like think of um, an attitude for him that would make sense like at this point in the history. So I guess big spoilers for that. I'm sort of just bearing the lead there in terms of like if this actually happened. Like, oh, when did that happen? But I mean, it's probably most people will probably realize that she's got something to do with him. So like because of like everything she knows, everything she wants, everything she kind of can do, and all that sort of stuff, even the stuff that she has, is pretty likely to be like, um, she probably met him at some point. But what happened after that? I'll leave that for the comic. So let's see. It's like kind of like this. Again, he sort of looks weird without his color or without his stuff, but and at this point he'd probably be a bit even taller than this, but I'm hunched over a little bit. And he like this. God, the lines are so responsive. It just makes me want to like draw it really fast, which just means I've got a bunch of sketch stuff here, so I should probably be a bit careful. Because these streams are always the absolute epitome of the drawing craft. There we go. So yeah, I guess I sort of think that a lot of pages have come out. So if anyone's got any thoughts or questions about what's been happening, let me know. But I guess not that much has like really happened maybe since the last stream. But oops. I keep because I've got the draw tool and the eraser matched to like buttons on the pen. And I keep pressing the wrong one, so that's why I keep making those little mistakes like that. I thought that would be helping me out, but no, it's not. All this stuff, and he looks weird without his lab coat. But he yeah, he doesn't have it right at the moment. Okay, so yeah, sort of fangirl. Let's see. I guess it kind of defeats the purpose a bit. So she at this point she wouldn't really be trying to maintain composure. But yeah, there we go. So let's head back across. Whoop, what? Whoop. Um, what X says, don't even know what movies have come out these last several years. Yeah, neither do I. Arthur's going through some of the same issues. The more he tries to remove his weaknesses and survive, the bigger the bullseye on him becomes, leading to more desperation and cowardly decisions. All right. Okay, let's go back and do one more pick, I think, from the Discord. But yeah, people, yeah, keep thinking of stuff. If not, we'll probably just end the stream a bit earlier. So let's go across here. Yeah, anything you want to know about anything, any characters, any stuff, upcoming things, just let me know. Let's go. Another drawing suggesto from the Patreon. Sage experiencing dadhood with a young marble climbing all over him. Yeah, unfortunately that ship kind of sailed since he yeah, he kind of missed out on all that because she sort of grew up while he was still trying to find out a way to get her back. But I guess that could be like a what if. Um okay. I might just do this one just because yeah, yesterday we were hanging out with my niece, and yeah, she's very into Bluey at the moment. So this has got a Bluey in it. So let's go ahead and do this one. So this is russet seed and maple hiding in a tree and clinging to its branches, while a small, cute, and derpy-looking dog is hanging out at the bottom, barking cutely while wagging its tail. One of them is shouting out, "Be gone, demon!" All right, so let's get some sort of angle here. So this can be like a tree with like a branch coming out. And like kind of perspective-y looking stuff. And you set this scene. Yeah, as I mentioned before, Bluey's a pretty good show. I think, yeah. I mean, what did I have when I was growing up? Like Play School, that's pretty good. Transformers, Voltron, not super wholesome family stuff. I mean, Play School is and Sesame Street, although I didn't watch too much of that. Um, but yeah, it's just cool that kids have got something like that these days to kind of learn some proper values, and parents as well. Like, parents aren't going to learn much from watching. Well, Play School is basically like you're watching two smiling young adults, or maybe older people, just like making crafts and talking about shapes and stuff in the world and things like that. Like a parent's not really going to get too much out of that, but Bluey, it's got a lot of good parenting advice. So pretty great show, and it's just good that it's around. Okay, that's that, and then yeah, and so Lucy, who my niece's name, yeah, she's got like a bunch of just Bluey toys, and she's like two. She's doing that thing where she must show everyone every single thing at all times, and just hand you things, and then move to the next thing that she can hand you. But also she's got a big a bluey house playset, and she just yeah, it's very adorable. Just playing with a little kid, just mucking around with some little toys, a little house. So yeah, big into Bluey. So Bluey is like relevant at the moment. Um, so let's see. Uh, okay. Oh yeah, so all the squirrels. Oh, for some reason in my head I read that as Maple and the kids, but it's actually Russet, Maple, and Seed. So okay, this is gonna draw to attention the fact that they are very, very similar looking. Um, I sort of draw. It's probably a bit long for a squirrel face. Not that I really know, but I think they're pretty. Not the longest of snoots. So this is Maple because she's got like the kind of the longer hair up the front there, and I think it kind of just goes around like that at the back, and then still has the ponytail, so something like this. And okay, let's see. So I guess like hanging on to here. This stuff, all this squirrel armor and stuff. Oh, best thing about doing a squirrel at this angle is this. Cover up the entire thing. I was thinking, oh, the tails really aren't that big. And then I was looking at some pictures, like, they're pretty big. They're pretty giant. So that's pretty good. That's why they're far superior to chipmunks. Not that in my mind, they're just the same animal. One has a big tail and the other one doesn't. I don't know. They're probably completely different. And yeah, so the three, I guess, adult, or well, Seed's not an adult, but he's like 14-ish, I guess, is the equivalent of sort of what he would be. But I think he's like canonically like 11 months old. Of course, I don't know. I don't know how old squirrels take, how long they take to get old, but it had to be sort of contemporary. I assume rodents are all kind of pretty quick on off the mark when it comes to that. I guess they're just like yeah, sort of up in this tree here, and then this is okay. Let's see how I can compose this image. So I'm gonna want Bluey to be around here ish, and then so we'll have we're gonna be able to see their faces very well from that angle. I'll stall for a second while I have to think about how I'm going to do that. Yeah, the squirrel armor is just just like motocross, like BMX gear, essentially. And it's like when they don't have it, it's like all they have. It's their identity. Otherwise, they're just in a shirt with a high collar. There we go. I don't like drawing Seed from the back since he looks kind of weird. I suppose I'll do like I'll cheat it a little bit. Um, this can be russet. It's always weird. He's kind of got that this sort of hair, but like from most angles, that's actually like really difficult to do. So I sort of cheated a little bit a lot of the time. But I mean, if My Little Pony has taught me anything, you can just from every single angle that you draw something from, the hair can look different. So it's fine. That show was super successful, so it must be good in every way. So think like this, and how's she going to be holding onto this? I probably shouldn't. There'll be like another branch further back a bit. Did I? No, I didn't zoom out, but and then yeah, we've got the shoulder stuff. Oh well, I don't need to think about that. I forgot to do this. Oh, it's small. Oop, maybe I don't want to cover up every single thing. Oops. But yeah, it's been good to finally have a change of scene in the comic because it was getting um, a bit sort of samey with the locations. So yeah, being in the new Lima place, sort of matching up to the I guess the commission I did a while ago, which had like the rebuilding of the like a Madagascan cities. So it's all pretty much yeah similar to like what I'd done there, down to the Constructicons. I think I'll have a like yeah the green and purple vehicles, rebuilding stuff in the city and all that. Even though yeah, apparently they've had time to build like a doctor's office and a fully functioning that. And they apparently have like an economy running and everything, but they still haven't like built most of their infrastructure. But that's okay. They got priorities. So kind of like that. And yeah, like J Runner is technically back in it, but she hasn't really done anything yet. And she's not gonna. She's sort of a cameo. Like it's sort of lucky that like Storm is there with his sort of political clout to kind of go straight to the top and get. I guess the president's. Yeah, she's the president now, by the way. I feel like the Lima Nation would have a president. That'd be like their leader. And yeah, getting clearance to go straight into all the stuff that's probably off limits to your normal Lima citizens. And yeah, it sort of like was just sort of very casually showing that there's a lot of humans in Madagascar. Yeah, they're around. I guess because they're like quite closely linked. And like a lot of the adverse human stuff isn't like that different to like some of the Lima stuff because they were sort of riding off their old memories. Yeah, like much like things don't really change too much. They kind of just go in cycles. Even though it's quite in the future, the adverse have still probably got a lot of stuff that we would recognize now. They just got their t-shirts, although they seem to have like a kind of the style at the time is a t-shirt of like blue or purple and with like a little trim around the sleeves. That seems to be what the in thing in the year 50,000 is at the moment. And now Seed, similarly kind of difficult to draw from this angle. Um, he's like not like he wouldn't really be looking like be able to see from that angle probably, but that's fine. Some liberties taken. Loving this pen, it's so quick. All right, it's like normally I do maybe like 9 or so pictures in a stream. I think I've done that already, and we've still got quite a ways to go. Yeah, he can be just chilling out, hanging. He would be like just panicking like crazy. Yeah, that's. He'd probably even have. Yeah, he's like reaching to get his little nebulizer thing that's around his neck. This little portable airbag to breathe into. Calm down a little bit. Seed, by the way, is based a lot on myself, so that's why it's like very oddly specific and yeah. So his stuff is like pretty personal to stuff that I like. I'm still going through, but not like to the extent that I have been in the past. So there we go, and he's hanging on down here, and time to cover up all these leaves with a big tail. But yeah, the good thing about doing a live stream is you don't feel bad about covering stuff up because it's there somewhere. Get rid of all these leaves. Yeah, while they're in the limo, there's going to be a few like little revelations that kind of change things a fair bit for how things are going on. Because yeah, the main reason Bray is still around or like that he went out to talk to Marvel was because he has a bit more insight than everyone else because he's also been flared. He picked up on a few things, which he kind of mentioned a little bit while he was talking to Marvel, but something that they'll be able to use to their advantage, like everybody else. Although he's kind of been taken out of the picture a little bit. Not that he really would have too much to do, like at this point. it's mainly, yeah. So from this point on, it's gonna focus a fair bit more on the like the cast that's been established sort of so far. Okay, so there they are. Now I'm gonna draw how to draw Bluey from memory, and then I'm going to just get a picture and do it properly. Lucy did someone I did draw Bluey on the chalkboard or the blackboard as we call it yesterday, but I didn't like have a look up and see how close I got. So we'll see uh how this goes. I know we've got this, we've got this, oops, and then sort of this pretty like now where does the mouth come from? Like there? And there's something like it's like not like that. Not there's not sort of the Simpsons line, but it's I guess you gotta be like little chin do they have? I don't know. And then like really thin arms, kind of like Courage the Cowardly Dog level of arms, and it like kind of straight and flat, and then this, and then like probably something like this. Uh, yeah, that's. I mean, I guess like this is definitely yeah. So being on a demon, or if this it was 440,000, but it's not. So ooh, don't like that tangent. I didn't used to worry about that sort of thing, but it is kind of annoying now. It's I didn't move it off by much, but enough. Oh, that's about as good as a speech bubble as I used to do back in the Stolen Generation days. Hold on. Why did I do it like that? Tail's like, so that implies the speech bubble was like wedged in between the tail and the ear. That's definitely a choice, but no, I'm not going to commit. I'm not brave enough for that kind of commitment. That kind of like crazy thinking. All right. And then just like saying the words bark, bark, I think. Okay, so oh, I guess blue healers have tails. Yeah, okay. So now I'm gonna look up Bluey and then I'm gonna like do this properly. Let's see. Such a powerhouse now that I'm sure if I look up that word, it'll yep. Okay. Hmm. Okay, eyebrows. I missed some key important details here. Okay, I was way off with the with the arms and legs. Okay, I don't know why I had like just yeah, courage dog level. Yeah, well the arms are just basically a stick with like a three-leaf clover on the end. All right, let's get rid of this abomination. Although, let's go. So yeah, let's okay. Get rid of all this. What would be the quickest way to do this? I'll just erase it. Whoop. Okay, I was wrong in nearly every way. Okay, so she's facing the wrong way, but that's fine. I think it works. It still works. So we've got a rectangle, and we've got this. Okay, I was thinking too much in terms of like having it be like an actual thing that could exist. The Bluey's definitely just like a collection of shapes that you could just make out of a selection of foam things or magnets. or anything that you might have that has little magnets in it that you would stick to a board. I guess like it's a character that's designed to be like a how to draw. Like now draw a triangle, now draw the same triangle next to it, now draw a jelly bean. It isn't like one of those things like draw a circle, draw a line on the circle, and then finish it. That's perfect now. Like no, this looks like it could actually be done by a human child. So and a little pointier than I, and then like so such a weird. Okay, this but like happy. How does it like it's the line's just going like straight, but somehow they made it into a smile. So I might just cheat a bit. Okay, no chin, just go straight into the body, like Stimpy. Which is fine by me. And then a much bigger nose. I've been trying to draw noses bigger lately, but I'm not a master. Still just a Padawan at noses smaller. And oh, huge eyes. Oops. And they no, further back. But yeah, and then yeah, eyes are so big, they're like kind of go up the side of the there. So like the pupil on this side is like hardly seen, which like looks really strange if you only draw that one. But yeah, we've got big, shineless eyes, and oh, the markings are a lot more detailed than I thought. This got this. I wonder if when they flip this picture of Bluey, did the markings flip as well? I bet they do. I bet they didn't really think about that. No, a bit more of a rectangle than that. But yeah, we've got about probably half an hour more. So after I do this, if there is anything else you want me to do, let me know. I'm gonna get rid of this. This doesn't look right somehow. Oh, I think I know why. Yeah. It still doesn't look right. I was thinking a big game. It's like, okay, then I'll just just translate this like a fax machine, like exactly from the image that I'm looking at. But this is not really doing it. Okay. Unavoidable, but we're gonna have to put the foot down there behind his face. And we've got this. And it's kind of like from the bottom. Yeah, some of those weird designs, like it looks like it wouldn't make sense in 3D, but like it weirdly does. Like when you see a 3D, not 3D model, but like when you see it moving around, it's like, oh yeah, okay, it's fine. Okay, she's got actual hands. Like, well, not actual hands, but like not the weird nubs that I was doing. But there, then there, and there, there. Okay, maybe I can just like actually retain this now. So when I'm called upon to do it by a child, I can just pull this from the old dome, and it goes. So these highlights that aren't really supposed to be that defined because they don't have like outlines around them, but maybe I'll just do one. And it just looks like a weird like Simpsons style, like Jetson style, like how everyone's like um they've got like this around their mouths, kind of like that. Like this this Jetsons character that everyone knows. This man. Um it should maybe that should be the thumbnail actually. Let's redo that. Come back. Oh no, I've ruined it. There's no way I can draw this again. Okay. That's Bluey. Oh, wait. Yeah. Oh wait. Yep. All right. There we go. Oh, that's a little shadow to show that we've got something going on down under here. Adding a bit more tree detail. Get rid of this stuff. And yeah, all right. head back over into shoulder. Might as well be consistent. Might as well start now. There we go. All right. Jump back over. There's a Discord now. There's a Discord now. Yeah, my bad. I've not figured out how to do it yet. I did mention it to G, who's my techno person, but we'll figure it out. Uh, yeah, Kitfox Discord. Sorry if I'm not chatting much. That's okay. I mean, that's fine. I've just got to tell more people about it, I guess, and see if we can get some people on there. But yeah, it's hard. Like, I don't really know how much I should be like involved in it if it's like about stuff about my stuff. But yeah, I'll let people know if people want to get on there. That's cool. If not, yeah. But yeah, thanks so much for thinking about me and thinking about getting that going. That's awesome. Uh, Bluey, nice. Oh, these poor squirrels. Yeah, they're in a world of danger. It also serves them right, eating the poor birds' food. Is that what they do? I feel like that's what they do. Well, it's kind of the opposite here. We put our dog, not the opposite exactly, but our dogs are about the size of squirrels, and the birds always come in and eat their food. So I guess it swings and roundabouts. Draw a circle to make a square in the circle. Now draw Pikachu holding the circle. Yeah, exactly. I just need the dragon drawing. Is that Homer Simpson? Yeah, clearly. That's exactly 100%. That's like season one Homer Simpson. Um, Before they kind of got their models down properly. All right, let's get a new one. I guess a dragon suggestion. So I did the what was the last one I did? Like a Zoid dragon, I think it was. Yeah, we'll get one of those. Before we do that, then while we're thinking about that, I'll go back over and I'll do this real quick. People yelling and pointing at Arthur at the kitchen saying no dictators at the table. Shaw sitting next to them, up having his hand up defensively and a nervous smile. Sure, if that won't take me too long, not with the powers of an up-to-date drawing software. It doesn't allow me to remember what a squirrel face looks like. Not that I draw anything like what anything actually looks like. Yeah, as I've mentioned, I think my I've been like forever poisoned by during the Nuzlocks and having them just affect the way I think all animals look. Maybe slightly getting out of that now, but that's fine. I'll just call that, yeah, that's, I meant to do that. That's my distinctive style, not an accident at all. This, and then I guess like, uh, okay, which hand to point? I think this hand on hip, and then the other one pointing. Now it's awkward sort of foreshortened arms. Oops. That too big, that'll do. And then all the squirrel accoutrement. And since she's like a scrapper, I should probably have even more. Oops. But yeah, I've also been getting out into the garden doing stuff. I can tell I'm getting towards being middle aged when I suddenly care about that. Now I don't need to be like Oh, so like all of our neighbors are kind of like 70 years old and the massivest busybodies in the universe, and they're like we're the ones that like stereotypically the neighborhood watch comes down and berates us for not being in keeping with the level expected of the neighborhood's gardens and all that kind of stuff. But between sort of all the rain we've got and actually being bothered and having a bit more, not a bit more time, but like less tiredness from our like mentally crippling jobs, like being a teacher. Um, yeah, it means we've been able to get some stuff looking good. So that's all looking all right. So yeah, it's actually nice going outside. It's not depressing and guilt inspiring. Yeah, I just thought of that because the garden's right outside and I can hear all the birds chirping and all the trees that we've planted and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so there we go. And there we are. But yeah, if we could get the Discord going, that would be super radical. Whoops. And then the table. See? Okay, there we go. Yeah, straight lines. I mean, it's straight-ish, but it's more like they're tilted, like about as tilted as like if you're not used to drawing on a whiteboard and you stand back from what you've written and it's like at the biggest like lean of anything you could ever imagine. Um, okay, so let's see now. I guess Arthur here, but I don't know what that was trying to be. I like these expressions because it means I can just do dots for eyes and I don't need to worry too much about doing them eyes. And I was looking back because we're getting solar panels put on our house and various other things pretty soon. So I had to put as part of like putting some insulation under the floor for when we change our like get some floorboards and stuff. I had to clear out all under the house, so that was a good excuse to kind of like go through like everything that I've ever owned in my life, which I still have because I'm a not a hoarder, but like all like a lot of my school books and all my old toys and all that kind of stuff. I've just like got all of that still. So that's all under there. And like I was finding some old art of mine and like back when I was learning to draw from watching the animes that were big at the time. And my favorite anime, I think I mentioned this at the time, was Martian Successor Nadesco, in which their eyes look like insanely complicated. Like they're like I don't know why I'm drawing this here because that's just going to be there now, but like there's something like this, and the pupils are like there's like 50 levels of shine. So I would draw eyes like this like all the time. And like it was a bit like that in Stolen Generation. That's because that's the reason why everyone had such giant eyes. So I'd actually have a room to draw the eyes looking like this. But that's very slowly changed. I think again that might have been the Pokemon influence from the Nuzlocke. Now eyes are just like this pretty basic stuff. So yeah, it's not so much of a deal now having to draw like a fancy eye instead of a dot eye, but it's still more than nothing. God, I feel like a kid in high school drawing in the margins, which I found many of that while I was looking through my old stuff. And yeah, drawing an eye, draw an eye, or you draw an S if you're in the side of your books. Now I never actually did this as a kid, but I messed it up already. I think I did. It must go like this, right? This close. Anyway, I'm not enough of a real teen to be able to remember how this went, but there was like something about like an S that you would draw with like three lines and then connect them all up. Wait, oops, I think I might have it. Yeah, that. Everyone would draw this. And now I have two, so I can say that I've officially graduated high school. We can get rid of all this. Leave that out of the way. Secret. Um, okay. Anyway, back to this. Whoop. All right, so yeah, hands up defensively, nervous smile. Okay, I did the default nervous smile, so that's good. But do some hands. Everyone's favorite thing to draw. It's a good thing my style is so like basic that I don't actually have to worry about doing things like making sure anatomy looks right or anything like that. That's good enough. It's a shorthand, so to speak, for a hand. Okay. And then good thing about having hands up defensively, not having to draw much of the body. There we go. And I guess he would also have his kind of get up. Maybe a simplified version of it. Like at the present moment, I know it has this. It goes like this. Not quite. That's close enough. That's not the main. That's not the main here. Oh, that looks like a bunch of ribs. Let's not have that. And then yeah, down, and then it kind of yeah, it has like another bit, but oh, it has the way it has this. There we go. That's how you do it. Ribs solved, and then we've got this. And I guess Shaw is also at the table. Oh, what would he be doing? I don't know. What would he be doing? Yeah, they're about the exact same size, so this look probably okay. Guess he'd be like, what would he be doing? Like, yeah, he's probably just like his little like. I don't even know he's like that. Yes. No. Hmm. Might have to redo this one up from the ground up. I don't know what that line was supposed to be. There we go. This. And I want him to be like a more like, yeah, more mischievous. He's doing his dictatoring at the table and he's not supposed to. Yeah. No. Oh, that line just it turns it into like He-Man style, like 80s. Gotta have those chiseled grin lines. Yeah, I think it would just be like apart from that, kind of just his nose is a bit long. I think that's better. His ear's going somewhere. Fine. And then yeah, he'd probably be wearing his lab coat at the table. I think he'd just have like his arms down, like under the table. It's like who knows what's a dictatoring that's happening out of line of sight. Yeah, I think like kind of the sort of cheeky shoulders. What have I got? 10 minutes to do a dragon after this. Okay. Yeah, that's it. And then lab coat. I doesn't do that. Does this. I was remembering Barrett's normal human type lab coat. Sure wouldn't be called dead wearing such a thing. And then it goes like this. It goes like this. I was actually surprised how consistent it's been since he was first drawn in like page 120. I sort of forget how long it actually took for him to be introduced into the story in which he was the main villain. It was like 110 pages. I think, as I've said, that was like because originally Amethyst was going to be the main villain, and then I decided to switch gears a little bit. and make her kind of more like a mid boss slash, you know, villain turned hero kind of thing. Misunderstood because I had bigger things. It was originally going to be a much smaller comic, but it ended up just spiraling into something a little bigger. Okay, now I got some dinner chairs. I'm afraid now because this new program is so conducive, I might draw a dragon actually good, and that'll undermine the entire purpose of the whole thing. I don't know. I think I'm putting a lot of faith in my ability to draw a dragon. Like, I don't think any level of program is going to allow me to do that good. Okay, this is all right. I forgot the text. Uh, you think I've formatted enough speech bubbles to know how much space a line is going to take? I'm changing it up. Now it goes behind the characters. People don't know what to think, keeping them on their toes. They don't. They're like not doing anything at the table. There's nothing on the table. They're just there. I guess like just, but yeah, regardless, or as some people say, irregardless, which I think is not correct. Um, yeah, no, none of the table. Just yeah, knock it out, knock it off, kids. There we go. All right. Whoa, that kind of looked good, but not what I wanted. Okay, there we go. Now then, finally, it was the penultimate picture. What do we got now? Okay, lots of stuff's happened. Oh, by a lot of stuff, I mean a couple of stuff. A dragon squirrel stealing dog food. Sure. Yep. You a dragon squirrel. See the Among Us meme for drawing anime eyes? Oh yeah. The Among Us meme for drawing anime eyes. Yeah, I mean it's just you draw an Among Us and then that's an anime eye, sure. Yes, I've seen the meme. If I was still teaching, I would have used that as a teaching tool for sure. Um, it almost looks like Sage without any clothes on. Yeah, they're pretty similar. Sage looks pretty like much like Shawl, except um, white. Say, has anyone here seen Sonic Prime series yet? Seen it several times, and it's great. Yeah, we watched it. Um, one of the few things I managed to watch. Um, yeah, we watched it. We watched the first season. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Although the Sonic TV shows are um there's not a huge, not an incredibly high bar when it comes to those things, I guess. So, I mean, I love the original, like 1993 one with Jaleel White as the voice of Sonic. I've still got like a soft spot for that one. Not Satam, but the one before that. Satam's good as well, but the one where it's just like insane and with scratching grounder in it. But Sonic Prime, yeah, I remember that being pretty cool, kind of edgy, lots of cool kind of stuff going on, different worlds, dimensions, different Robotniks, Eggmans. All right, so yeah, let's try a squirrel dragon, a dragon's so a dragon squirrel or a squirrel dragon. I guess stealing dog food. Okay. I was gonna make it a robot for some reason, but that's not part of it. Just in my mind is default to that. Okay, so the heck is this gonna look like? I guess we'll start off with like the I guess like the shape of the squirrel, but they have giant ears. In my mind, they have like really big, tall ears, but I think there's several types of squirrels, but I like don't really know the difference. Might have mentioned that before. Oh yeah, and of course they'll have like the kind of the squirrel pouches in their cheeks, which they may or may not actually have. But yeah, the dragon is like for sure like doing that. Let's see, looking all shifty. Uh, yeah, no. The new program has not made me any better at doing a dragon. Don't worry about that. Gotta have horns though. The ears are too high. Where are the horns gonna go? Okay, at the moment it just looks like a pudgy dragon. I think I'm gonna have to do something else to make it a bit more scrollular. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining in and being on this journey where we got to see some little things get created. Not a great deal of lore this time, but that's all right. I guess that there hasn't been a huge amount of stuff happen. And yeah, I didn't. It's not like I gave much time for people to think about it. It's like, oh, no stream for 6 months, and then suddenly it's happening in 1 or 2 days from now. So yeah, that's all good. And yeah, it actually meant that I could, I guess, not that I don't want to be answering stuff, but focus a little on the drawing. But I guess that kind of means that half of the thing isn't there. Half of the whole point of the stream is gone. But uh, yeah, no, it's meant I could just maybe draw a little faster because I could kind of think of what I was doing. Um, yeah, is this? So let's give him some dragon feet. Does that mean something, I guess? Yep. And yeah, I hope everyone has a good old. Probably not. Yeah, I'll probably do another one. We'll see how things go before Christmas. But yeah, I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. Not that we do that down here. Although, yeah, Georgie's works for Be Awesome Games, which is like the American company. So they're all shutting down for Thanksgiving. And she's like, "Oh, can I not do that? Because that's kind of our source of income now, and it'd be kind of good to still get paid, because they were just gonna like not be working, and then that means not being paid." I don't know if it's the same elsewhere, but in Australia, the land of the long weekend, we'll generally like still get paid if it's a holiday. We'll just like still get paid for stuff, and we have like a lot of things. So, for example, for Australia Day, which although I did mention is kind of like um, oh, I mentioned somewhere, not here, a little bit boycotted because of the problematic nature of its origin, because it's kind of celebrating the arrival of the first fleet, or the colonials that came and did some stuff that history is no longer looking particularly kind on. Oh, not that it ever probably did, but now we're actually learning about it and being properly outraged. It's not, yeah, it's sort of fallen out of favor to celebrate Australia Day for its original purpose. But we sort of changed so much so that we have like a station, music station, Triple J, which would normally have their hottest 100 on Australia Day, but now they kind of no longer do that because they don't really want to be associated. They sort of done it on a different day. But that's the closest thing that we have to Thanksgiving. But yeah, anyway, the point was Thanksgiving meant, yeah, she had to like sort of think, can I please just get, be able to do some work anyway? And yeah, I think that was all good, so that's fine. So we don't do like turkey related holidays. This still just looks like a fat dragon. There's still not really any kind of squirrelness about it. Here's a dog food bowl. They're stealing some dog food. Yeah, okay. Now, so I guess to the Detroit become dragon, we must move this to the side slightly. Oh, I might go over by a few seconds, but I think we're used to that by now. I'll have to advertise as a 2 hour and 1 minute and 37 second stream because that seems to be. Oh no. Okay. Scroll up. I guess that also works. Fine. All right. Okay, now how in the heck am I going to do a squirrel, tail, and a dragon? Something I probably should have been thinking about this entire time. If I were one to think about things. There we go, there we go. And then I'll just do the tail and then then go from there. So it's like, whoop. Much like you should base your knowledge of Tasmanian devils and bandicoots from animation, I will also base it on the Sword in the Stone, what a squirrel tail looks like. So this, and then dragon means putting some scales on it. And then don't think about how that works. And then I think that's good. I think that I'm gonna blame the tools, as a good artist should always do, for the fact that it wasn't as terrible as I wanted it to be. But that's okay. So there we go. Squirrel dragon, eating some dog food, and that brings us to the end of the stream. Let me just jump back into chat one more time. Oh yeah, G just says Australia Day is just to celebrate being Australia, but it's currently on the same date Australia was taken. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, thanks everyone for being on the stream. Thanks, G, for helping me out with all the troubleshooting and everything as always. Yeah, great to see everyone back, and I will, yeah, I always have a lot of fun doing these things, having a little chat, doing some stuff. But yeah, and thanks again so much for being supporters on Patreon. If you indeed are and aren't watching this, I'm one of the like 2 or 3 people that watch this later on. Yeah, it means a heck of a lot to me, of course, especially now that I've lost a few. So yeah, it just means that, you know, I value so much you guys who are sticking with me, even though, you know, the world's in a pretty crazy shape at the moment, and I'm sure people, you know, most people aren't finding it as easy to do stuff as they normally would. But yeah, thanks so much for sticking with me. I'll have a new page up very soon, and you let me know if there's anything else you want me to do on the Patreon in terms of like content and stuff. I'll get right on it. But until then, I'll talk to you later and see you next time. How do I turn this